Hello everyone, welcome back to Art and Alchemy. Today we're planning for August and we're doing things a little differently. I'm going to try and get the whole setup done under 30 minutes. Stay tuned to see how the entire setup turns out at the end. I'm only going to use these two colors for this month's theme and a 0.3 fine liner. Check out links to all the supplies in the description box. Let's get started with the cover page. We're going by the saying less is more for August. I'm going ahead with a very minimalistic theme. This month I wish to be mindful of the time I spend in my bullet journal and try to save time bullet journaling instead of wasting it. I often get caught up in thinking way too much about the theme, so this time I went ahead with the first theme idea that struck me. I'm drawing these abstract shapes, A, because they're easy to draw, and B, they look very graphic. I especially love the combination of yellow, black and grey for some reason. This theme works really well for beginners as it's the easiest to set up. I normally sketch out my theme and layout beforehand in pencil, but I skipped that step this time and that saved me so much time. I'm now adding the title August on the side and our cover page is all done. Moving on to our calendar spread, I figured that I needed a little more room for writing my events, so I increased the height of each box to 7 dot grid spaces, which previously was just 5. That means now each box measures 6 by 7 dot grid spaces. You'll see that I've changed quite a lot of things in this month's setup. I spent a couple of weeks in July assessing if my bullet journal is working for me in the best way possible, asking myself if there's anything I want to change. I realized that the spreads that worked well for me in the past are not much relevant anymore. So I stripped down the spreads to absolute essentials and made space for some change in my setup. I highly recommend you spend time with your journal and ask yourself if your bullet journal is working for you or not. I then added the days and numbers followed by the abstract shapes. Alright, let's move on to my monthly planning spread. I'm leaving the entire left page for my monthly task dump. Now, if you've seen any of my previous monthly setup videos, you'd know that I jumped straight into the planning page. But this time, I added a task dump section to bring up all of the tasks that come to my mind at the beginning of each month, regardless of the task being urgent, important, or getting done at all. I'll sort them later and see which ones are relevant for this month. This is going to give me a clearer picture of what I want to get done for the month. On the right side, I provided space for setting an intention, my monthly focus, top 3 goals and sprints. I previously included a weekly breakdown of my goals which I changed up slightly this month. Instead of a weekly breakdown, I added a section for sprints which are essentially smaller tasks that can help you reach your goal. Goals often seem huge and far-fetched and bring with them a lot of overwhelm. Sprints connect overwhelming goals with small, easy-to-do tasks. They are mini goals that have more definition than the main goal and consist of well-defined tasks. Talking about the theme and design, I used the yellow color marker to create a statement look for the spread. I basically let the yellow color do all the talking, so the spread looks attractive even if it's super minimal. Hey, so if you've been enjoying my content so far, why not hit the subscribe button down below? Your support always means the world to me. Thanks in advance. The next spread is for our trackers. I'm tracking my sleep on the left. I added the hours from 10 PM to 9 AM on the top and the days on the left side. I'm drawing 2 vertical lines to indicate my ideal sleeping and waking pattern that constantly reminds me of the goal I need to achieve by the end of the month. On the right side, I'm tracking my habits. This is how the spread looked previously. I'm setting it up horizontally this time. What I'm doing differently this month is that I'm going to have a main habit to track for the entire month and another habit that I'm going to stack on top of the previous habit. I wrote the days on top and habits on the left. I have a main habit marked with a yellow bullet that I'm going to track for the entire month. The habit below it with a plus sign indicates the stacked habit that I will start tracking after 15 days of getting used to the previous habit. When you stack habits together, a new habit is likely to be done as the previous habit acts as a cue for you to pick up the new habit. For example, I want to spend some time reading each morning, so to increase the chances of doing it, I will stack it with a habit that I'm used to doing, like drinking a cup of hot water. I picked this concept from Atomic Habits by James Clear. As I mentioned that I wanted to be intentional with bullet journaling this month, I decided to add a section at the bottom for inference. Next up, we have our weekly spread. This time, I'm creating a 2-spread weekly layout across 4 pages. On the left side, I'm leaving a column for my weekly task dump and a section for notes and events. On the right, I'm setting up my days. In my previous weekly spreads, I divided each page into 2 columns to write down my tasks, which also made the spread look very crammed. The reason I decided to go for a 2-spread weekly is that I needed horizontal space for my daily tasks, so I can use the extra space on the right to time block if and when needed. The spread also allows me to have space for my weekly review and reflections. Now that we've come to the end, let's look at how much time this setup took us. I spent 40 to 45 minutes on this theme and setup, but considering the fact that I was filming and that I needed to set up my camera each time for side shots, this setup took me way less time than any other bullet journal theme I had done so far. The cover page took me about 3 to 4 minutes, the calendar spread 4 to 5 minutes, the monthly planning spread 4 minutes, trackers spread 6 to 7 minutes, weekly spread took about 6 minutes. So this means you can easily set this up in under 30 minutes. It's finally time for the flip through. I love the simplicity of these spreads and I'm kinda excited to welcome new changes in my bullet journal for August. Always remember to allow your bullet journal to evolve along with you and your ever-changing needs. I hope you enjoyed watching the video and found it helpful, and if you did so, you know the drill. Like, share and subscribe to this channel for more of such content. Thanks a lot for watching guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.